speedrunning in classic WoW?
The winds guide you.
Speedrunning has been a fun way to change the way we play some of our favorite games.
Yep.
It can breathe life into old ones, add competition to new ones, and create new challenges for all. But I think one of the basic requirements of a good speedrun game is that the game is not changing, which is why World of Warcraft has been a pretty crappy game for this type of gameplay. But with classic WoW, that is all going to change. So today I wanted to talk about how I think speedrunning will play a role in classic World of Warcraft's meta.
That's actually a really good insight. I like that a lot. The fact that obviously, you know, like, WoW changes a lot, so you can't really speedrun it in the same way. I like that insight a lot. I've never heard that before.
Normally, World of Warcraft has been an ongoing and changing game. Constant class changes, raid rebalancing, and expansions have made the game feel different every few months, which meant that World of Warcraft has been an awful game to try to optimize speedrunning routes for. But now, for the first time, we're going to have Classic WoW, a version of the game that is not going to go through balance changes, or experience changes, or quest changes. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for the game.
I don't think
People can race to reach level 60, they can race to clear dungeons and raids. You can really race to whatever level you want, you could even have a foot race like they did to Silithus on the beta. In fact, one of the coolest things about speedrunning
Well, you didn't want to name me, dude. You didn't want to name me. Like they did. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see how it is.
Rules are made by players. So when do we expect this to start? On Classic WoW's launch day. That's when. Thousands of players are already practicing and preparing for one of the biggest and most interesting races in WoW's history. The race for the world first level 60. The official record of 4 days, 20 hours, and 49 minutes was set back in 2006 and it still stands today. Mainly due to the game being lost to changes and no one else getting the chance to beat the record. Even the man who holds the record, Joanna, thinks he'll be able to beat it. And before someone says it, no, private server world record times are not going to count. They're a totally different thing. We've already seen massive differences between the beta and private servers in terms of leveling speed, so the real race begins with Classic WoW's release. Private server records are for private servers, Classic records will be for Classic. But for the people who are going for World First, I hope they stream it and share it with the world, because that's going to be a special moment in WoW's history.
Yeah, it's going to be badass.
It's going to probably be the second most interesting race achievement in Classic WoW.
I'm probably going to get World
second
First.
Most, because to me, the most interesting race will be the World First clear of Classic WoW's Molten Core. Not because the raid is overly difficult, but because I want to see just how quickly some of these super nerds in the world can do it. I've heard of a few guilds that are planning for a week 1 Ragnaros kill, meaning before the first reset happens, they're planning to go into Molten Core and kill Rag. Let me explain just how hard this truly is.
I don't know about that, dude.
It's probably impossible. First, you need to get a team of at least 40 people, but more like 60 people, just in case some of the original group has issues or they can't make it to 60 in time. You do need backup people. Then all of these people have to hit level 60 within those 7 days, which if we looked at the previous world record leveling time was a slash plate of 4 days and 20 hours, which is a record that I do expect to be beaten. But for 40 people to keep up with a similar pace is pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Also,
there's
with
no
so
way.
many people playing at launch, there's a very high possibility of server issues, which may make logging in difficult. So now that those people hit 60, all of them need to get a tune for Molten Core and get some basic raid gear in order to start clearing, which isn't really a massive requirement. In all honesty, you could probably do that within a few hours for each person. But then there's one more thing to keep in mind. In order to kill Ragnaros, you need enough reputation, and you need to have completed quests in order to cleanse the runes. Those quests require you to go to Azshara and talk to the Duke, go kill some mobs in Silithus, go back to the Duke, kill the first boss in UBRS, go back to the Duke.
I forgot about killing the first boss.
Trash, go back to the Duke, go kill all of the bosses in Molten Core, Ganis, Lucifron, Shazra, Sulfuron, Harbinger, loot their hands, go back to the Duke, and then you can get an Aqua Quintessence to cleanse the rune, but this item is unique, so you only get one. So if only one person completed the quest, then that person has to make the trip back to Azshara to go see the Duke 8 more times in order to cleanse all the runes, in order to summon Major Domo.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Finally start killing Major Domo and then kill Ragnaros. I'm actually really excited about this race because I want to know if someone is actually going to be able to do that, if it would be possible, but I'm extremely doubtful. But either way, we're going to get to see a world first race in itself.
I think they're going to be able to do it. Personally, I think somebody's going to be able to clear Molten Core on the first week. I mean, it'll be ridiculous. But yeah, it'll in no way in a week. I don't know. You guys really don't think it'll happen? Like I don't know. Like 2 weeks rep lock? No, but you can just have multiple people, right? My guild will do it. Yeah. Okay, Nick. Okay, dude. Molten Core will be cleared in 5 days. I think they'll probably clear it on the night of the sixth day or the last day, right? The 7th day. It's not possible. I don't know about it not being possible, man. I think that it is absolutely possible. Like my guild is going to go for it on the 2nd week. And I think that's what makes a lot more sense, and it just, it's just a lot easier that way. So I would say that.
Which is pretty
1 day
great.
clear?
And whoever
Yeah,
does
it'd be
it,
easy.
we're going to have to give them some real credit for the amount of preparation and effort.
I mean, it's an easy raid.
Even if somebody clears it within 2 weeks, I think that's a massive achievement, and
Yep.
the community needs to be very, very proud of them. So those two are going to
Absolutely.
be the most interesting,
Proud
and
of
most
me.
competitive speedrunning races in Classic WoW, but that's really just the beginning. Every time a new raid comes out, there's going to be a new race to clear it first. These races I don't really expect to last very long though, so they won't be quite as interesting, but what will be interesting is when guilds start to do speed clearing of raids. This is something that top guilds on private servers have already been doing, but there's always been an issue with that. Private servers were all slightly different in terms of difficulty and mechanics, which meant that these records were never comparable to each other, and it made for horrible speedrunning contests. With Classic WoW, we're finally
Wait, did somebody clear BWL in 18 minutes? Did I read that right? What the fuck? Nuh-uh. What the fuck? I saw this one. This was 20 minutes. I thought there was no way you could go any faster than that. That's 18. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way. I don't believe it. Well, let me go back. I'm going to see over here, okay? Watch it. Well, let me go back. We'll watch the rest of this first, okay?
have everybody on an even ground, all players competing at the same setting. I feel that this
Yep.
is what is going to extend the life of Classic WoW forever. Most people think Blizzard will probably not add any more content to Classic WoW, or they will move on to Burning Crusade after Naxx, which means that in order to extend the game, players will have to make their own gameplay. Why would
Yep.
people keep clearing raids forever if there's no future content coming? Speedrunning. That's why. It adds a competitive side to Classic WoW raiding, which it never had. And I think a very small percentage of players will be competing, but that's really what WoW needs. We need those top turbo nerds to look up to so that we can dream of achieving these things. I'm sure we all remember standing around in Shattrath City, inspecting a rogue with his warglaives equipped and dreaming
Fuck
of being
yeah,
that
dude.
guy. Well, I think this time,
Fuck
the
yeah,
speedrunners
dude.
will be those people.
Fuck
So those are
yeah,
going to be
dude.
the premier examples of speedrunning in Classic WoW, but I wanted to talk about something that Blizzard did back in March 2006. Straight from Joanna's website, there's a small section about how Blizzard held a contest open to anyone. This contest was labeled as a race to level 50. The race
Really?
was for players to all start at the same time, and whoever was the first player to hit level 50 won. Joanna, of course, won the only leveling race that Blizzard ever held. Truly
Wow.
a legend in the speedrunning for World of Warcraft. But
What
if
the
Blizzard
fuck?
doesn't, then we as a community should hold the contest.
I didn't even know
Open
this.
to anyone. The same rules. Pick a realm and start a leveling race. It could be level 10, level 30, level 50. It doesn't really matter. That's what I meant by the speedrunning community making the fun. It's
Holy
something
shit.
that I would like to host one day if nobody else does. There's actually already a leaderboard going on
Damn.
the chat website under the vanilla and classic beta speedrunning thread, which I'll link in the video description. It lists a level 1 to 10, a level 1 to 20, and a level 1 to 30 leaderboard with very basic rules like no partying, no auctions, and no funds from other characters. You just pick your race in your class
never mind,
and you
I'm
try
not
to
gonna
level
do it.
as fast as you possibly
Yep,
can.
done.
There's also another thread with advice and lessons for speedrunning vanilla WoW, like skipping slow quests, targeting the correct mobs, and
Yep.
planning when to loot or not to. This, along with Joanna's website, offer pretty great advice for someone looking to start speedrunning a character. Another thing that I used to do with my guild was racing dungeons. Let me tell you right now that after running Skull 10 times, trying to farm a rare flask recipe with a very low drop percentage, it can get a little stale. What we did to make it interesting as a guild was we would split into groups and race each other. We both started at the same time, and the goal was to clear it faster than the other group.
So it's like Mythic Plus, but somehow it's more fun than Mythic Plus because you actually create the content yourself. It's kind of like, like the things that people actually do on their own are more fulfilling than the external systems that they have to perform under, right? I think that's basically how it works. Because I used to do this shit all the time too. Like I would be speedrunning dungeons and like Burning Crusade. I remember there was one time a healer sat down to drink. I kicked him out of the fucking group because you already had 20% mana. What the fuck are you going to do, right? Like, what do you mean sitting down to drink? Nobody has time for this shit. Let's go. Right? I was so toxic back then, and like that's what speedrunning does, right? Speedrunning and like Mythic Plus are like super, super toxic. But it also makes the game like more interesting for a lot of people.
Whoever was slower paid gold to the winner. We were allowed to use invis pots, strategic deaths, everything was allowed. It made it very fun. It was almost like Classic WoW's version of Mythic Plus, created by the players. To win, all you had to do was post a screenshot in Discord of the dead final boss with your group, and that's something I want to see guilds making a part of their routines. If any of this sounds interesting to you, I would recommend doing some research and some reading on either the Baron's chat, forum post, or Joanna's website, and then just give it a go. See how your time goes when Classic WoW is out. But is speedrunning going to be mandatory? Absolutely not. This is for people who really want to push themselves. A lot of people need competition in order to keep themselves going in a game. So if you want to take your time and play the game, that's great. That's exactly what WoW is. It's a game with many different ways to play it. But if you have a friend who says they won't play Classic because there isn't any competition in the game, then I think you should introduce them to this side of the game. If you never tried anything like this before in games, I'd recommend that you give this a go. To this day, one of the most fun things I ever did in World of Warcraft was my realm first level 85. The feeling that you get when you practice and study something for months and then succeed is absolutely amazing. But now I want to ask you guys.
We lost realm first at 85. I remember 85, like I was pretty casual. Like we got like maybe half of the realm first for 85, but the other guild got the actual realm first 85. I was fucking pissed, dude. I remember that. We lost it to intent.
What do you guys think of speedrunning in Classic WoW? Have I piqued any interest in watching someone achieve these or even attempt it yourself? I think most people will just want to enjoy the game at their own pace, but everyone should respect the amount of effort going into these accomplishments someone is going to make in Classic WoW. It's really going to be a chance for someone to make a name for themselves with a world first level 60, and I can't wait until August to see it happen. Make sure to like and subscribe if you found the video interesting, because I'll be coming up with more Classic content soon. That's all for me today. This has been Classic Wins.
I mean, like, yeah, I think speedrunning is going to be really rating it. Yeah, we'll watch the communist rating thing, okay? But, like, I kind of want to see, like, all right, what's the fastest run for BWL? Molten Core world record in 18 minutes. Like, how the fuck do you do this, man? This is insane. 50 minutes Molten Core. Like I want to see like the fastest like progress. 18 minutes, 17 minutes, 39 seconds Molten Core. Like that is fucking insane, dude. Raid as a communist? Yeah, exactly. You're exactly the guy who will reserve the orbs from Strathlome? No, I won't be, because my viewers will just gift them to me anyway. But listen, like, speedrunning is going to be interesting. I don't really know how serious people are going to take it and how big the community is going to be, but I do think that obviously people will enjoy it, and it'll be fine, right? I mean, it's not going to be like a huge thing, but the people that do like it will like it. And I don't know if it'll be as big as Mythic Plus is in like current WoW or not. Let's see what everybody else says. It's not where I park my car. Honestly, world first boars only run is where it's at. Can you, like, the problem with, like, doing things like that is that there's no way really to structure and see if it's done, like, legitimately. So I don't really know if that's going to happen or not. Let's see. Yeah, I got all these. There's nothing particularly interesting that people are saying. If you split the raid to cover more bosses with Nax gear or with every buff in the game. I mean, like, maybe that's what they do, right? Maybe we can look at that. I don't really know, but it does seem like it's pretty crazy. Like, to me, it's fucking ridiculous.